Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. I'm so happy to be back with you guys this week. So I'm going to do another solo episode today. I've been coming back through my DMs, just trying to see what questions you guys are asking, what support you need, what would be like the most beneficial for you to hear right now. And one of the questions I got asked recently was about how we plan content and schedule out content for our social media clients and like the strategy that we have behind that. So there's a lot of working pieces that go into this, but I'm going to share like the basic outline for you to help you get better with planning your content on social media and scheduling it out ahead of time so that you can go into the new year showing up really well online without spending a ton of time every single day putting together content, because that will put you right on the train to burnout. Please trust me on that. It's going to be a lot easier for you to take 1 to 2 hours a week, sit down, get all your content made, schedule it out ahead of time on a platform that schedules it and posts it for you. And your life is going to be so much better after that. I wish I would have been better at that as a solo lash artist, because it would have really helped me and been beneficial. I was someone who was just posting day to day. And while that worked for me at the time, with what I know now, it would have been a lot better to be scheduling it ahead of time, especially when you're at the point where you are still working inside of your business and you're still taking clients. It can be kind of a lot to have that energy drain at the end of the day. I know you know what I'm talking about. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I still have to post for the day. And you've got, like, if you're a mom, you've got kids, you're working on dinner, you're doing house things, you have other responsibilities. Maybe you just simply want to sit back and relax at the end of your day. So scheduling out your content is really going to help you be able to do that. So I'm going to go through an outline and just help you put this strategy together, put this plan together, because that is the biggest thing with your content, is planning and preparing ahead of time. It's going to make it so much easier for you. You're going to be able to batch content, be on top of things, and you're not going to be posting and praying. You're going to have somewhat of a strategy behind it. And you're also not just going to like stress yourself out about it day in and day out. So first and foremost, I think this first piece is one of the things that gets skipped over the most. And that is that you have to have an actual brand to branch your content out from. So I'm going to explain this for you. So a lot of people think that when I'm talking about branding, or someone's talking about branding, that it's just the visual, like physical branding of it. And yes, that is a huge part of branding. Don't get me wrong. That is, of course, part of the strategy. But what I think a lot of lash business owners, estheticians, hairstylists, beauty businesses in general are missing is the piece behind your brand that's not the visuals of it, okay? We're not just worrying about the logos and the colors and the fonts and the grid and the aesthetics of your brand. We're worrying about your brand messaging too. What do you want to be known for? What are your strengths as a business owner? What are your values and your ethics and your morals? And how are we portraying these things in your content, in your messaging to be attracting the types of clients that you want to attract? Okay. So this is one big piece that I think a lot of beauty businesses are missing, and a lot of the clients that we've worked with are missing this piece often. And so they're just kind of all over the place with their messaging. Maybe they don't have a message at all. They're not quite sure, what do I post about? What do I write captions about? But when you know who you are as a brand and who you want to attract, the caption pieces and coming up with what to create your content and what to say in your content becomes so much easier than that. So to give you a little bit of context, we post and schedule anywhere from 75 to 100 plus posts per week for ourselves, for all of our clients. So this is something that I am doing day in and day out myself. And we currently don't have anyone on our team writing captions. So that's my job. One of my things that I still do is I'm writing every single caption. With this, it can be kind of difficult when you don't have that brand piece because you're like, what am I even going to say in this? And it can be really easy to fall in the habit of just like posting lash pictures and just like eyeball photos or just hair photos. And it's like, okay, what else can I be talking about, right? And so to help you with this, I want you to just sit down and outline, just maybe just brain dump out. What are your strengths as a business? What do you want to be known for? What do your clients love about coming to you? What's great about your client experience? Like, what are the highlights of you as a business, as a service provider? And write these out. Like, you can do bullet points. And these are going to be some of your brand messaging points now. And especially the ones that like, what helps you to stand out, right? Because especially if you're in a saturated area where you're like, there's so many other lash artists, there's so many other hairstylists, there's so many other estheticians, then you need to know what makes you stand out, because otherwise you're probably unintentionally just getting yourself price shopped. And what I mean by that is that if the only thing that they have to compare you to somebody else in your area on is your prices, they're going to pick whoever's cheaper typically, or whoever's in their budget, right? And so especially if you want to charge higher prices, you need to nail this brand messaging in your content or in your marketing, even if that's like flyers that you're handing out, or the way that you're talking to people in person, or your website copy, which is like the wording on your website, your business description, all of this. Any types of conversations in person around your business, this is all like your brand messaging, your brand positioning. And so if you don't have this piece solidified, then they're going to look at your prices, right? Because they see, okay, she does lash extensions. This lady down the street does lash extensions. Which one am I going to pick, right? If you don't have this really solid brand message, they're going to see it. Oh, they're both lash extensions. They're going to think it's the same service, the same level of service, the same experience. Like, oh, they both do lashes. I'm just going to go with the one that's cheaper. So if you don't want to get yourself unintentionally price shopped and you want to have a really strong business and a really strong brand, then you need this brand messaging piece. It's not just about the visual branding. Yes, that's a big part of it, but don't get so stuck on your logo and your fonts and your colors that you forget that the captions and the message that you're conveying anytime you talk about your business is so very important. So I want you to take these highlights, these bullet points, right? And turn these into content. Anytime you get stuck and you're like, I don't know what to post about today, I don't know what to talk about in this caption, go back to this list. What can you pull from it, and how can you be conveying these pieces of yourself and your business and your services and your client experience into your captions, into your content, okay? So this is going to be a really strong piece. This is just such a necessary piece, and you cannot skip this, okay? You need to be writing this all out. And especially, like I said, if you want to stand out in your area, what are you doing? Because if they see, okay, she does lash extensions and this other lady does down the street does lash extensions, but in your content, you're talking about, man, this client experience I have is so great. Like, these recliners are so comfortable. Oh my gosh, this client loved how her lashes lasted 3+ weeks. Oh my gosh, I just invested in this new course and this is what it's going to help me do. And this is how it's going to make your experience with me better. and you're talking about like, oh my gosh, I've got all these years of experience. This is how I isolate. So I make sure your lashes don't stick. I really focus on protecting your natural lash health. Like you're talking about all these really great pieces of your business. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's what I want. I love that. And even if your pricing is a little bit higher, they might be like, I am willing to pay that higher price because I know I'm getting these things in return, right? Because you might be doing those things already, but if you're not talking about them, then new clients and people who haven't come to you before don't know that about you. So they need to be able to see these things and hear these things and read them about you so that you are differentiated between the other businesses in your area. And people who are willing to pay higher prices are looking for service providers who provide these extras. It's really convenient to book online. They have a really good experience. The lashes are really quality. They're going to last. They're a really high quality lash artist. They protect the natural lash health. They do custom sets. They customize it to your features, whatever it is that you're doing that makes it so great for them, right? Your strengths, your highlights, the things your clients love about coming to you. Okay. They see these things. They're like, yes, I'm willing to pay the higher prices to get this in return. And like I said, those clients who are willing to pay those higher prices are looking for those qualities. Okay. So this is what you need to focus on to not just grow your business, but also to convey these things in your content. Let people know you do these things. And it might seem like something so minimal to you that you're like, every lash artist does that. I don't freaking care. Because the people in your area are not following 500 to 1,000 plus different other lash artists like you are online. They don't see lash content all over their pages. But if they're following you, they find your page, they're reading your content, they're seeing your content. So what are you talking about that's going to differentiate you from other lash artists in your area? What is going to help you stand out? What's going to help them be like, yes, this is the lash artist for me. This is the hairstylist for me. This is the esthetician for me. So that's absolutely first piece, very necessary. Do not skip this step by any means at any cost, okay? Now, after this piece, I want you to pick how many times are you going to post a week? Because in my opinion, in my experience, the main thing that the algorithm likes the most is consistency in your posting. So that doesn't mean you have to post every single day, 5 times a day, whatever. You can pick to post 3 times a week, but I want you consistently posting 3 times a week. Now, this is just my take on it. You might like doing it a different way, whatever, but I feel like consistency is the most important thing. So I want you to pick, okay, if you're going to post, say 3 times a week, 5 times a week, okay? I honestly don't feel like posting every day is necessary. Personally, just from my experience and like working with clients, I think you can get really good results with 3 to 5 posts a week and call it good. Okay. So pick how many times you're going to post a week. Now I want you to get a calendar. Now this could be Google Docs calendar. This could be a calendar in your phone. This could be a written calendar. It could be on a project management platform or like a content scheduling platform. Okay. So for the content planning that we use a project management system called Asana. Now we use this because we work as a team. We can assign tasks to each other. It's really nice. It's a little more fancy, but it has this calendar feature and we can plan out the posts on the calendar. Okay. So this is where you can take these bullet points from your list now and put them into content pieces. So we use what I like to call like content themes. And so we'll do educational posts, connection posts, sales posts, entertainment posts, and inspirational posts. So in these content themes, so connection posts, these are posts that they can get to know you as a lash artist, as a service provider, as a human being, and find connections with you. They're seeing the face behind the page, okay? Now, this doesn't mean you have to like put all your life story out there, all your aches and pains, all your problems, all your deep, dark secrets. This just means you keep it at least a little surface level and share maybe some of the different things that you love so that they have something to connect with you off of, okay? So I'd like to explain this as if someone were to dress up with you as you for Halloween, what would they be wearing? What props would they have? Like, so that other people would know that they're dressing up as you, right? So for me, they probably have like a baby on their hip, they're listening to Taylor Swift, they're wearing pink, they've got glitter, they're going kayaking. Like these are pieces that make me that other people recognize me for. So these are the types of things that I can be talking about in my content just to make connections with other people and just kind of share some of my interests and likes in life. And it's like as a bonus of this, it also just attracts like-minded people to you because maybe they have similar interests. Maybe they're also a mom. Maybe they also like the outdoors. Maybe they also are into plants or gardening or I don't know, whatever your hobbies are. Okay. So this is the connection post, then educational post. Now, obviously, you probably get a good gist of what this one is about, but whatever your services are, you can go into myths like myth busting, educate on aftercare, any questions that you get asked frequently from your clients, you can create into posts or potential clients. You can create those into posts and educate your clients. This is going to really establish you as a go-to person for this service, an expert at it. You're really going to build that trust with them because we want to build that like, trust factor with your content on social media. So with this educational content, very important. You want to build this trust. You want to become the expert in their mind at this. So even if they're not booking with you, they're reading your posts. Maybe someone's asking for recommendations. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to recommend this person because you're that go-to person in their head now because you've been like building this trust with them through your educational content. So connection posts, educational posts, inspirational posts. And now I like to think of these as like before and afters or like client stories, client reviews, anything that might inspire someone to get a service done with you. Okay, so inspirational posts and entertainment posts. This could be memes, like funny things, lighthearted things, like funny reels. If you like the dancing reels, you can make some of those. It just brings like that entertaining, lighthearted, like fun aspect to your page, right? And you don't have to do these if you don't want to, but it is a potential content theme that you could be utilizing in your strategy. And then, so we did connection, education, inspiration, entertainment, and then sales. So sales posts, obviously, these are a little bit more direct. Maybe you're sharing the openings that you have, you're sharing about retail that you have, add-ons that they could potentially add on to their services. It's more of like the direct sales type of things. Now, when you use all of these themes in conjunction with with one another, it can be really effective with your content strategy and converting your followers into clients because now they're getting to know you as a person. They're getting to know you and they're getting to like you. You're giving that education content so they can trust you. You're throwing in a little bit of entertainment, a little memes, little funny things, keeping it lighthearted, right? So they're enjoying your content. It's not just all eyeball photos. It's not just all salesy photos, right? But they're getting to know you. They're getting to like you. You're having a little bit of fun in there. And then inspiration posts. Oh my gosh, they're getting to know what you do, right? And then those more direct sales type of posts, sharing your openings and things, they've gotten to know you. They've gotten to like you. They've gotten to trust you. Now, oh my gosh, we're getting to know like what her services are. And now she's got this opening. I'm on a book with her, right? So this is why I really like using these 5 content themes for beauty service providers because I feel like it's a really good mix of different content types that lets them get that like trust factor built up and helps convert at a higher rate than if you were to just post like eyelash photos, right? Or hair photos or only educational content or only posts about yourself and your personal life, right? It's just not as effective as when they're getting to know you and your services simultaneously, and you're working these pieces together to create these conversions online. Now, I don't want this to feel overwhelming because this can be really simple. I'm going to help you break this down to make it really simple for you. But I wanted to share this with you because I think it's a good idea to mix these different content types. So one thing that you can go on and do on your calendar that you've got now is just pick, okay, what content theme do I want to post for each of the days, right? And so if you're doing 3 days a week, then okay, I'm going to post, say you're going to do just for the sake of keeping it simple here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So then you can pick a content theme for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, connection posts, education posts, inspiration posts. Okay, great. Now what am I going to post on those days? So what I would recommend you do is because I know you've got like 5 million service photos on your phone. You've got all of these pictures and videos you're taking at the studio, right? I want you to create like a Google Drive folder, or you can make a Dropbox folder. Do something where you can compile all of these photos and videos into one spot. You can even just make a folder on your phone, whatever's going to be the easiest for you. But I want you to have basically this vault of photos and videos for your business. And you can separate it into mini folders, whether it's like, okay, these are my lash lift photos in their own folder, right? Or sorry, you could use subfolders. That's a better way to describe it. So you have your main folder, all my business photos, right? Then you have your subfolders, lash extensions like classic lashes, hybrid, volume. You could do your retail stuff or your video service videos. You can do lash lifts, all your different service types. And so that way you have it broken down. It's all very organized. You can see, okay, what photos do I have, right? And if you're like, okay, I want to do like a before and after lash lift post, but you don't have before and after photos that you want to use, then okay, I need to take that next time I go into my studio, right? And so then you can know, what do I need to be taking photos and videos of? So with this vault, you can very easily pull photos and videos to make reels, to make posts out of, right? And you can be repurposing the same photos again and again later on. You can put, especially like B-roll videos where it's like you're videoing yourself doing like a service, or you're cleaning something, or you're on your computer working, or like these B-roll things of like you doing a task, right? You don't necessarily have to be looking at the camera or engaging with the camera or talking to the camera. It's just like a video of you doing lashes, or a video of you cleaning your space, or a video of you doing some type of like business task. It could even be a video of you like reading a book. Like literally, it doesn't matter, right? But with these B-roll videos, you can take that same video and put it in different reels and different formats, and you can use it again and again. So it's really nice to have this content vault where all your photos or videos are there. It's all organized. It's very easy to pull from. Okay. So this is going to take a little extra time, a little extra effort, a little extra preparation on your part, but it's going to set you up for success in the long term, because you're not going to burn yourself out on social media. You're not going to burn yourself out on content. You're going to be able to show up consistently still. Okay. So you've got your calendar, you've got your content themes, and you can decide, okay, I'm going to do a connection post today. I'm going to post a picture of myself working and doing lashes and show them kind of like the behind the scenes, right? And then maybe the next one is an education post. Okay, I want to educate about like what the benefits of lash lifts are, or maybe lash lifts versus lash extensions, right? And you're like, okay, maybe I want to make a graphic for this. Now you know, because you've planned out however many weeks at a time. You could do a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I would say if you're just getting started with this, try and shoot for like maybe like a week or two worth of content at once. And it can be really easy to just take like an hour or two to do your content for the whole week. And so then you could just do like a week's worth at a time. And so with that, you can say, okay, now I know I need to create these graphics for it, right? You can go into Canva, create your graphics, and it makes it really easy because you've got this all planned out. And then like, okay, I need to edit this reel. I need to edit this photo. Like it makes it really simple when you have it planned out and okay, this is the photo and video I need. Oh, I'm just going to pull from an old one that I have. But all this preparation, it just makes it so much easier for you. Then okay, great. I've got this reel made. I've got this graphic made. I've got this photo edited. I'm all ready to go. So once you have your content themes, you figure out what the actual post is going to be. And then what I would do too, if you're like, okay, but what do I actually, like, how do I even pick the post to actually do? You can just write down different content ideas too under each of these different content themes. Keep a running list. Even if you just think of like a random content idea, just write it down. If it's like 3 a.m., just write it down. If you're in the shower, pop out, write it down, put it in a note on your phone. I always forget. I'm always like, I'll remember. And I never do. Or I rarely do, I should say. So write these things down and you can pull from that list at any time. You've got your content themes mapped out on your calendar. Then okay, these are the actual posts I'm going to do. These are the graphics. These are the reels. These are the photos and videos I need for it. Once you've got those all put together, then you need to write your captions. This is where you can pull from your list that you made in the first step, right, of your brand messaging points. And I would love to see you pulling at least one of these things in some way, shape, or form into each of your captions every single time. That way, it's being really well conveyed and you're really like solidifying your brand and pulling it together. And you probably have a lot of different great things about yourself and about your business, right? You don't have to put all of those things in one post, okay? We're building a brand. It's a consistency thing. It's a long-term thing. You don't have to do it overnight. And in fact, you can't do that overnight. It's consistently talking about these different pieces of your business that make you you, that is going to help you be the most successful in building your brand and consistently attracting clients to your beauty business. So you can just take small pieces of this brand message and infuse it into your content each time that you're posting. With your captions, I do, and it kind of depends on the content type that you are posting about, but I do recommend typically having some type of call to action in there, whether that's sending you a message, link in bio to book, double tap if, or what else? You could comment below. There's all kinds of different things. Like let them know what you want them to do next. Typically recommend having a call to action in there, depending on what you're posting and like your strategy behind it. I think it's really beneficial for you to sound like yourself in them, okay? Especially in this day and age of Chat GPT. There's nothing wrong with utilizing ChatGPT to like maybe get some content ideas, get maybe some of like the actual, I don't know if you're like, oh, benefits of lash extensions in the winter. I don't know, just as a random one to throw out there. You could get your benefits from ChatGPT, but word it in a way that sounds like you, because it's going to be a lot more authentic and it's going to connect and land better with potential clients and with your followers. And that's going to convert at a higher rate. I don't remember who posted this, but I saw on Instagram recently, they did a study about like the effectiveness and the conversion rates of content created. Now, and I don't know like the data behind this, how they collected this, but what they were saying was that the content created by ChatGPT converted at a lower rate than content that was handwritten or that was at least made to sound more authentic to the person themselves or the brand themselves. So there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT to get like the kind of basic outline even of a caption, but I want you to make it sound more like you. The more authentic you can be to yourself, the better and higher you're going to be able to convert followers into clients. So caption writing, that's what I would say. Stay very authentic. Throw a call to action in there if you can, if it's appropriate for the post. Once you've got that caption written, bro, you're golden, okay? You need to add some hashtags next. Now, hashtags, this is something that could potentially die out sooner than later. I feel like they're starting to try to phase these out in favor of keywords. Now, this is a whole thing I can make a completely different episode on. But for now, just to keep it simple for you, I just want you to pick 3 to 5 hashtags that incorporate your location and your service names. So for example, if you do lash extensions, say in Dallas, Texas, okay, and someone in your area is looking for a lash artist in Dallas, Texas, what are they going to type into that search bar to try and find a business like yours in their area? They're probably typing something like Dallas lash extensions, right? So these are the types of keywords and hashtags that you want to be using in your content, in your captions, in your hashtags to actually get found in searches online. Okay, this isn't the only thing that you can do to get found in searches online, but it is a big part of it, especially searchability on like Facebook and Instagram, for instance. Even TikTok also is keywords and these hashtags that you're using. So if you were a Dallas lash artist, you'd want to be using hashtags like hashtag Dallas, Texas eyelash extensions, Dallas lashes, Dallas lash extensions, Dallas lash lifts. Okay. The general hashtags like hashtag classic lashes, hashtag lash extensions have millions of posts under them. Okay. And no one in your area is going to find you under those. The only people finding you under them are lash manufacturers and potentially people like me who are trying to connect with lash artists. Okay. You probably get found by other like brands, like lash brands. Okay. Because they're looking to connect with lash artists. So they're looking under these hashtags to find them to engage with, right? And to connect with. So if you want to connect with people in your area and actually get people booking appointments with you, you don't want to be using these general hashtags. It'd be like finding a needle in a haystack, and a very, very tiny needle in a very, very large haystack at that. Okay. So I want you using more location-based hashtags so that you can actually get found in these searches. So think about, what are they typing into that search bar? How are you using those as hashtags? Pick 3 to 5 variations of these keywords to use as hashtags. Ditch the general hashtags altogether and just focus on that. And it's going to help you get found in these searches a lot better. Okay. And so with that, now you've got your content theme planned out. Now you've got your actual post, what you're going to do for your post planned out. Now you've got the photo or the reel or the graphic created, ready to post. You've got your caption written. You've got your hashtags. Now you're ready to schedule these out. Okay. So you can use, like, there's all kinds of different scheduling platforms out there. You can schedule it directly through Meta if you are wanting to schedule on Instagram or Facebook. It's not, I feel like it's not as user friendly personally, just from using it myself. than like say Metricool, which is the one that we use. There's also different ones out there like Planoly. What else? I think there's one called Later. Meta, I feel like isn't as user friendly. It is okay. And if you are using just Facebook and Instagram that you're wanting to schedule on, it's a very, I don't know, I guess straightforward platform to use. It would make sense because you're just wanting to use those two. We personally use a platform called Metricool for our client scheduling, for scheduling our own posts even. So it's Metricool. So Metricool, it's free if you just want to use it for yourself. But what you can do is post on multiple platforms at one time. So instead of posting to Instagram and having to go post the same thing to Facebook or post the same reel to TikTok, whatever, you can schedule one post to go up in multiple spots at one time. So when I'm scheduling something for a client on Facebook, Instagram, and Google Business Profile, which you can make posts on that, BTW, and that's very beneficial. I do recommend that 3 times a week or even just once a week. I don't know. Keep it updated. Post on there at some point. You don't have to listen to me on how many times to do it a week, but that's how many times we do it for our clients. And so with that, that's a little tangent. I can schedule Facebook, Instagram, Google Business Profile post at the same time. I can edit it to be a little bit different on each platform if I need to. So when I go on a Google Business Profile, I take the hashtags off because I don't need those there, right? And so, but you can schedule it, say, okay, these are all going to go up at 8 a.m. and then it posts it for you. And it's great. Now it's done. So you can take all of these, upload them all into a scheduling platform. It's going to post on your pages for you. And once you get in the groove of this would probably take you maybe 1 to 2 hours max for a week's worth of content. And I would say a week's worth of content being 5 days of posts. You can even schedule stories to go up. Very, very easy. And this is going to help you be able to stay on top of your content, not feel burnt out, and not have to be posting day to day, which is, I feel like, one of the biggest causes of social media burnout in itself, because it's just hard to keep up with, especially if you are someone who does want to post on your pages more often. If this is something that's brand new for you, like this concept of scheduling or batching your content out ahead of time, I don't want you to overwhelm yourself with it. Start small, maybe try and schedule 3 posts at a time, like 3 days worth of posts at a time, or like maybe just a week's worth, 3 to 5 posts at a time. Get in your groove with it and, make adjustments. You don't have to do it the exact same way I've said here, the exact same way that I do it. Figure out what works the best for you and run with it, okay? That's another thing, another little tangent I'll go on. I don't want you to feel like you have to listen to every word that comes out of your favorite people's mouths on Instagram, okay? There's a lot of really great people and a lot of knowledgeable people and wonderful people in our industry who have very amazing insights and experiences to share. But please know you don't have to listen to every word they say, okay? I don't want you to listen to every word I say either. Take this, make it your own, figure out what works for you, and run with it. Because that's where you're going to be the most successful, is when you are leaning into what works the best for you in your own realm of genius, per se. But I promise you, the more prepared you can be with your content, the more you can plan it out ahead of time, it's going to make your life so much easier and less stressful. And this is something I wish I would have done better at. I got really good at it towards the end of when I was still taking lash clients myself. And it worked a lot better for me. And I've just refined the processes over the past 3-4 years and just have gotten really good at it. Obviously, now that we do 75 to 100 posts per week of this process. And it starts with that, knowing your brand. You've got to have that down, that brand messaging. Then planning out your content calendar, okay? Having that content calendar, then you know what photos and videos and graphics do I need. Now, do I need to create anything? What do I need to edit? What do I need to put together reel-wise or videos-wise? Then you can write your captions and then do your hashtags, throw it all into a scheduler. Or you could even just keep that all together and post it day to day if that's what's easiest for you. But if you don't want to be burnt out with social media and you want to stay on top of it and show up consistently, this is how I recommend doing it and staying prepared on top of it. So I hope this was something that was beneficial for you. This is something that we do for our clients, of course. We do full management for social media, and that's where we're like running your pages for you completely, responding to messages, responding to comments, doing all the content for you, posting all the content for you, posting stories, keeping your page up to date, like doing all of the ins and outs, outbound engagement, the full shebang. But we also have an option where we're just doing your content creation. So we'll create all of your content for you, and then you can go post it wherever you want. So it's a lower price point, but it's really nice because it helps you to stay on top of it without having to do it all yourself. So that is an option in case you were like, I really want to keep up with this, but I don't want to do it myself. I don't have the budget for full management. And all you literally have to do is just upload your photos and your videos for us, and we take care of the rest. If you guys ever have questions on content creation, like my DMs are always open. I try to answer them in a timely manner. Not gonna lie, sometimes I'm not as great at answering my own DMs as I am about answering our clients' DMs, but get a give and take a little. But yeah, honestly, I just really hope that this was beneficial for you and just gave you a little bit of insight into some more strategy behind content planning, and especially the part of like including your brand messaging. I think that's just so important. If you don't do anything else to help yourself get organized for your content next year, at least nail down what your brand messaging is and what you want to be known for. And you can even break that down into like a month-to-month strategy of like, okay, this month I really want to do like focus on how we keep the natural lashes healthy and create some content campaigns around that. Now that's getting a little more complicated, right? That's like the next step. And we do a lot of that for especially like our lash brand clients, where we're creating like customized campaigns. We have objectives for the month. We're really focused on, pushing a certain set of services or a certain set of products. And we're doing a lot of education and live videos. Well, they're doing the live videos, but we've got this whole like plan and content strategy behind it. That's where it can get a little like I said, next step complicated. But that is like, if you're like, okay, I do plan my content, I do these things, I kind of want to take it a little one step further, and you can break that down into monthly objectives of what do you want to be known for? What do I want to talk about mainly in my content this month? Like you can have a main focus month to month and create campaigns around that. And you can pick that focus based on like, okay, what are our sales goals for the month? Do we want to increase retail sales? Do we want to increase the amount that a current client is spending with us? Are we going to talk about add-ons? How are we incorporating these things into our content to support the goals that we have in the studio, right? Or maybe if you're like, I really want to focus on getting new clients this month, then you can create a lot of your content more so based on, getting new clients who are new to you to come in, right? They're unfamiliar with you. So we're really doing a lot of introduction content. We're doing a lot of like basic educational content of, what the service is and who it's best for and what the contraindications are and all of those things, right? Or maybe you've lost a lot of clients in the past and you want to focus on getting some of them back. That could be a content focus for the month. You could really focus a campaign around, POV, I got my lashes back on, or, how nice it is to get those services done again. So that's where you can get a little bit more nitty gritty, a little more detailed and in depth. And obviously that's parts of like what we do with our full management clients. But like I said, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with this if this is something that's new to you. So try and keep it simple, keep it straightforward, go through those basic steps that we talked about today. And like I said, start small. As you get better at it and you build this muscle memory with it and you just like get this repetition and this consistency in this content creation skill, it's going to get a lot better, a lot easier, a lot more second nature for you. And you're not really going to think twice about taking that hour every week to do it. Now, that could be an hour on the weekends. That could be just like one night a week. You could also, this is what I did, was scheduled it into my week with my work hours. So I knew I had a nanny from, I don't even remember what times did I have her, like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., right? So then I would take clients at, actually, I think I had her from 8:30, I don't know, something like that. Because I would take my first client at 9 a.m. Then I would take my second client at 10:30 a.m. Then that one would get done at noon. I would take an hour lunch break from noon to 1, go back home, feed the baby because I was nursing. And then I would take my next client from 1 o'clock to 2:30. And then my last client of the day would be from 2:30 to 4. So I must have had her till 5, because then I would take that last hour of my day as a flex hour and use that for whatever I needed to get done in the studio that wasn't doing clients. So whether that was content creation, taking videos or pictures, deep cleaning, doing inventory, ordering products, back-end stuff like client management things, responding to DMs. I had that flex time scheduled into my day so that I could fit another client in there if I needed to, absolutely, like a smaller appointment, but that flex time just allowed me to get that done before I went home. And then I wasn't worrying about these things while I was taking clients. So that was like my ideal schedule, was like 4 lash clients a day, had a lunch break in there, and I had some flex time in there so I could get my back end stuff done. So that's just another way of like, okay, how do I fit this into my week? Because it really works the best if you're scheduling this time into your week, into your schedule to get this done so that you're making it a priority and ensuring that it gets done. And it's not just something that you're like, oh, I'll get to it if I get to it. And then you're like, oh, then I didn't post. Oh, I didn't create any posts. Oh, I didn't plan anything. Oh, what am I going to post today? And then you just keep pushing it off again and again. And then it's like, oh my gosh, 10 p.m. and I didn't post anything. I'll try again tomorrow. And it's the same old song and dance over and over. So schedule this time into your week to make sure that you're planning things out and being prepared. If you want to really grow your business next year and you really want things to change, like you've got to change your habits and your ways of doing things. This is something that I'm facing myself right now. It's like, okay, I want to get better at cleaning my house and staying on top of things and being more patient with my kids and, and taking care of myself better. I have all these things that I want to do, right? I'm sure all of us do. But when it comes down to it, I'm like, okay, I need to change like even just my small habits and routines every day. Even if it's just putting my phone down more and getting more cleaning tasks done. Or, oh, I don't feel like doing the dishes. I'm just going to go to bed. Nope, let's get the dishes done really quick, right? All these little things, it just comes down to actually making these changes that you want to see in your business and in your life. That could be a whole other episode, but I did want to throw that in there because if this is something that you haven't been doing well at in the past, or you haven't shown up on social media as much as you wanted to, haven't been really good at content creation, the way that that's going to change is scheduling it into your week and making the time for it and getting back down to these base, like foundational habits that you have. And you got to change things up and you have to be willing to make those changes to see progress and results and to actually get this done consistently. And it's not something where you're just showing up sometimes and not other times. So there's a couple little extra tidbits, rants, and tangents in there for you. Not that anyone asked for that, but just things that come to mind, things that I struggled with, things that I had to overcome and change to be able to get better at this and be consistent with it. So I hope this was beneficial for you. If it was, would love for you to screenshot this episode, share it on your Instagram story, and tag me so I can see that you listened and that we can reach other lash artists, other beauty professionals, and help them out with their content creation as well. And if you don't already follow the show, make sure to hit subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts at so that you can get notified whenever new episodes go live, which is every Tuesday morning. And yeah, thanks for being here. I am so happy that I hopefully was able to help you, kind of learn more about this and, get your stuff together for next year and just really get prepared for a really successful end of 2024 and beginning of 2025. Like I said, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at XOErikaShram. Thanks for being here. I love you. I hope you have a great day, great week, and I will talk to you guys next week.